In this video, I'll be showing you how I went from being a master's student to a data analyst as an international student in the US. Any international student in the US who has applied for jobs knows that it's an uphill battle, primarily because of what companies have to go through to secure your work visa. But that won't be a problem if you know how to show your worth and apply strategically, which you will know how to do by the end of this video. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's Nzube here, and I'm a PhD student here in the US. The videos on this channel are to help ease your transition into the US and also make the best of your stay here. If you're interested in that, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you very much. So we'll be breaking this video into three parts. First, what to do before your application, which we'll call the housekeeping. Then what to do during the application, which we'll call the banquet. And then what to do after the application, which we'll call the after party. As you know, I'm a fan of threes, so let's jump right in. Alright, first up, housekeeping. Before you make any application, you need to put your house in order. This will save you tons of time, so you don't have to make 400 applications before you get a job. Spend as much time as you need in this stage, then the other stages will flow smoothly and quickly. My weekly newsletter, The Good Hive, kicks off this Friday. More on that shortly. The first thing we'll look at here is your LinkedIn profile. This is like your online CV, which anyone in the world can see with or without your permission. So it has to be top-notch and crisp. This video won't show you a step-by-step guide on how to set up your LinkedIn profile. There are tons of videos here on YouTube already that does a great job on that. However, your profile needs to look professional and highlight your strengths. Look at the profiles of about 3 to 5 people that you admire, then make adjustments to yours. Pay attention to your profile photo, the about section, the education, as well as the experiences. If you can get recommendations as well, please go for it. The next thing we have to do during housekeeping is to brush up on your resume. As they say, your LinkedIn profile gets recruiters to reach out to you, but your resume lands you the interview, then the interview lands you the job. So what's the difference between a resume and a CV? According to Zeti.com, a resume is a 1 to 2 page document presenting key facts about your professional experience, educational background, and skills. A CV, curriculum vitae, is a longer document that details the whole course of your career. A resume is used for job search, while a CV for academic purposes. So what makes a great resume? Number 1, consistency. An example is how you write your months. So write them out in full or shorten them all. Either September, October, November, or Sept, Oct, Nov. Number 2, projects. Highlight your projects and experiences more. Think in terms of what the company wants. Put yourself in their shoes and build a resume that you would hire in that role. Number 3, synergy. Your resume should be a good fit for the job you're applying for. Look for skills required in your job listing, then fine-tune them in your resume. Learning a skill nowadays is as easy as watching some YouTube videos and some hours of practice. Number 4, presentation. It should be organized. There are several formats that are really good. Just stick to one format from start to finish. So after this, you can give this video a like. If this video has brought value to you so far, please smash the like button below. Thank you very much. Alright, next up, the banquet. There are 2 major platforms for job applications, LinkedIn and Indeed. I prefer LinkedIn, and that's what helped me get the job. So that's what I'll be focusing on in this video. I learned the point I'll be sharing with you in this video the hard way actually. When I graduated in late April, I started working in a plastics manufacturing factory for about 2 weeks. Those were the longest 2 weeks of 2022. I was working first shifts, and that's 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. every weekday, while also releasing 1 to 2 videos every week here on YouTube. So why did I take the job? I was going to start my PhD 4 months after I finished my MSc, and I didn't want to go through the process of resigning from a big company after a short while, or so I thought. But after 2 weeks there, I took a leave for 1 week and I had to research on how to apply strategically, and then I found 2 top-notch approaches. Number 1, LinkedIn filtering. So for my data analyst job, I switched on remote. Put within the last 24 hours, I was actually looking for less than 4 hours. I applied between 8:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. I also didn't apply to jobs with over 200 applicants already. You can choose to go lower. You know that even after the software sieves out people, a recruiter still has to review the resumes before you can be invited for an interview. They might find like 5 ideal candidates after going through the first 20 applicants and then send the rest automated love letters. That's what I call it. I'm so excited to tell you that my weekly newsletter, The Growth Hive, starts this Friday. Last year I read 40 self-help books, and this year I'm currently on my way to completing more, in addition to the tons of podcasts and motivational videos I watch. I don't want to say I've read them so you don't have to, but that's what the value you be getting from The Growth Hive feels like. The Growth Hive is a 5-minute summary of the best personal growth hacks that I learned that week, curated for you in your inbox. You can join the mailing list by visiting bit.ly/growth-hive. Link is in the description below. Thank you. The second hack I got is the TED Door approach for job applications. The name TED Door was made popular by Alex Banayan. This concept relates life to a party where you have the front door where regular people enter that bought tickets. You now have the back door where the extra wealthy like Elon Musk and Bill Gates enter in through. But then there's a TED Door which is usually beside the kitchen where you have to like peep in through the window and sneaking through. In job applications, school admissions, business, brand deals, this TED Door approach works. In job applications, the TED Door is private messaging the recruiters of your desired job. So a sample message you can send to a recruiter after a job application can look like this. So I like this message because you're putting out your intentions without being too desperate. You can find the recruiter on the job posting or the company's website or through a friend that works there, or by sending a cold message to someone working in your desired role and asking them to help connect you with the recruiter. For people that already have experience applying for jobs in the US, please let me know in the comment section if there are any points I missed out. Thank you. Alright, now let's get to the after party. You're done with your applications. Hopefully a recruiter reaches out to you, inviting you for an interview. You cannot fall hand in this interview. It's natural and also expected to be nervous because you really want the job, but you have to control it so you can put your best foot forward during the interview. Some tips that helped me are: number 1, know your resume inside out. Be able to defend every single thing written in it. Number 2, study the company. Know what they are into. Read as much as you can on them. As I heard somewhere, you want the recruiters to feel you're already part of the company during the interview. Number 3, practice your answers well. I made a list of 21 possible questions and also their respective answers when I was preparing for the interview. Tailor your answers to meet the company's goals and then practice them over and over again. Number 4, prepare questions for them. This shows you are really interested in working with them. And number 5, dress appropriately. Dress to suit the role you're applying for and also the setting of the interview. An in-person interview for a banking role will most likely require a suit. A remote interview for a data analyst role, which is what I had, will require some form of formal dressing like a corporate shirt. Then by applying all of this, you start experiencing the side of US that has so much opportunities. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can check out this video if you've not applied for your OPT yet, which is your work authorization. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.